What's going on there, guys? We back with another one. We got to talk about it as this Nas Jim Jones thing has been going viral over the last few days. But what a lot of people didn't notice is Jim Jones took a shot at Shannon Sharpe with his ongoing legal situation, and we're going to take a peek at that clip. You know, that young girl Gabrielle Zuniga who released the audio and all that of Shannon Sharpe. Jim, when it started to get a little personal, when he said Jim wasn't big enough to be on Club Shay Shay because Jim had said Shannon is using him to get his show hot, which that's misinformed as well because Shannon has one of the hottest podcasts. You know, after a game, you could see 15K on the low end in the chat, and during football season, sometime you see 80. After Super Bowl, you might see 100,000 people in there. So it is a really big time podcast, and you know they had some words for each other, and so we're gonna get into that. Let's check it out right quick.
You see what I'm saying, Ocho? He don't even know
Hey,
about rap. He just doing this for the views to get Jim Jones on there to get him hot. I understand, but you don't
Get
know
him
no
hot.
Nas lyrics. You don't
You
know
better
Nas
you better
lyrics.
check the
You don't
podcast
know
space.
no
hey,
Nas
Now,
lyrics.
now you better talk.
Sing
Check,
16.
hey,
Sing
this
sing
the
a
biggest
Nas record.
podcast you ever been
Name
on.
one Nas record.
Hey,
This
what-
the
Sing
biggest
one Nas
podcast you
sang.
ever been on.
hold on.
Do you
Hey,
Name a
know?
yo,
Do you know
podcast
a
you been
Nas
on
record?
bigger
hey,
than this one.
hold on,
I'm
hold
not a
on. We off
I'm not
topic.
a
Hold on, hold
podcaster.
on.
No,
Give
no,
me,
no,
hold
no.
on,
This
hold
is
on,
what
hold
I
on.
Hold on,
this
hold
is what
on,
I
hold on,
do.
Ocho.
You see
Name
you
a
you see you in your
podcast you been
feelings.
on
You see
bigger
you in
than
your
this one.
feelings. You see you
When
in your
you get
feelings.
big, you get
This is
invited to
what I
Club Shay Shay.
this is what I
Hey,
do.
Nas get invited to
You a
Club
part
Shay Shay.
you a podcast. I don't
Jadakiss
give a
get
fuck
invited to
about
Club
no
Shay
club
Shay.
Shay
You
hey,
Shay.
not on that
yo.
level yet, bro.
Bro,
Slow
We
it
off, we
Shay
down.
off.
Shay is for
Temper.
little young white girls. Chill
Hello?
out. Club
Shay,
Shay
you
Hey,
Shay.
not on that
yo.
level yet, bro.
Bro,
Slow
We
it
off,
Club
we
Shay
down.
off.
Shay is for
Temper.
little young white girls. Chill
Hello?
out. Young white girls. Chill
Hello?
out. Young white girls. Chill
Hello?
out.
We
Chill
off
out. Don't play
topic.
with me, bro. Chill
We
out.
off topic.
You dealing with the wrong one, bro.
Right here, bro.
I
You heard
don't
me?
care nothing about nothing that shit you got to say, bro. You might as well take me off this shit,
Hello?
bro.
We here.
So as you could see by Shannon's face and his reaction to what Jim Jones was saying, he picked up on what he was saying in real time. And Jim Jones, while they're saying that they were just talking their ish, you try to smooth things over when it's live on air like that. But obviously, there was some intention and some emotion behind that conversation. And Jim even took it a step further when he talked about challenging Shannon Sharpe to a workout, you know, and so he called him out on social media. Let's check that out.
Hey, yo, Shannon, did you work out today? You talking all that shit. On weekends, I do warrior sets. These pull-ups with resistant bands, bro. Can you even lift your own body weight? We can all lift a bunch of weight. But can you lift your own body weight, big fella? The world wants to know. When you gonna meet us in the gym? Huh? That's what the world wants to know. So when you gonna meet us in the gym? Please tell me that. Because we really do this. Remember this weekend work. No AC, just in the heat, no water for an hour. Like they dropped me off in the desert in case they gotta put me with the Marines on a special mission. You ready for that? Tap in. Let me know when the challenge is.
What's up, Max?
Now, I want to address one thing that Jim Jones said. He said that Nas was always finishing second to Jay Z and DMX. Uh, Nas was a bigger known rapper, you know, while Tupac and Biggie were alive, than Jay Z and DMX combined. He was a triple platinum artist, you know, on It Was Written, where Jay Z was just coming out with Reasonable Doubt, although he had been rapping really fast and stuff prior to that. That was his debut album. A couple years later, you know, then he was able to start saying, you know, they argue who the best, Biggie, Jay Z, and Nas, inserting himself in the conversation before actually being on that level, So I just kind of wanted uh, Jim Jones to do his history on that. And they ain't taking nothing from nobody. It's just what it was if he wasn't around from 94 to 96. It just is what it is. Tupac called Nas the ringleader on Machiavelli from the East Coast guys. Biggie said your reign on top was short like leprechauns when they were going at it. So, you know, and Nas said one life, one love, so there can only be one king on the message. So, those things, I just kind of wanted to correct people because they lose the history. They see how big Jay Z is now and they think it was just like that from Reasonable Doubt. And it wasn't. He worked for that. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so that, you have that. And also, I think a workout between Jim Jones and Shannon Sharpe would have some limitations. If you look at Shannon Sharpe having hip replacement, some of his ailments, over time, whether it came from lifting too heavy, combined with his football career, whatever the case may be, he's not going to be able to do, it depends on what type of workout Jim is talking about. If you're talking about calisthenics base, he may have more of an advantage there. If you're talking about like box jumps and that type of stuff, you incorporating that. Shannon, though, I think a good thing for them would be like circuit training, going from one station to the next and seeing who has the most endurance, for that. And I think that'd be a fair lift. Of course, Shannon's going to lift more. Shannon, I know he can still do pull-ups and everything. I was looking for a video of him doing it, and I couldn't find one, but we know Shannon Sharpe still get it in. Anything that has to do with lifting, he can do. But if it's, all that quick twitch stuff, as it comes to like running and jumping and, jumping on boxes above, 32, 34 inches, I don't think he'd be able to do that at this point just because of the hip replacements, So if they're going to work out, I do want to see strength training to some degree, but maybe more like a circuit to see who can last the longest in circuit type training. So it will have to be catered, with his injuries that he's had and his surgeries he's had in mind, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about all this. I'm over the topic. Jim said he's doing it to get in the algorithm. So that would show you that by him saying that, he knows he's connecting himself to somebody way bigger than he is, because he didn't stay connected to Pusha like that. I mean, he tried, but, maybe he didn't see the spike that he's seeing from someone with 9.2 million or whatever Spotify listeners a month, so. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.